Hey, I was all posed up because I thought I was going to take a picture. I'm taking a video instead. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, beautiful. You're so beautiful. Hey, I hope that you are first knowing that you are beautiful and having an exceptionally beautiful day and time in this life. I hope you're having fun. Um, once again, I feel like this camera is in a place that I cannot fully appreciate. I'm gonna try not to adjust it this time. But anyways, I am here on a love and light mission to spread some love in this word. This download I got, or that I've been getting so many downloads, and I want y'all to know that first, it's not uncommon, but it seems that I have been getting a whole lot more during this Mercury retrograde. Anybody that knows anything about Mercury retrograde knows that Mercury is a messenger planet. Um, you get a lot of messages from the spirit realm when Mercury goes into retrograde more than what you usually would get. And when I tell you, child, is, is, I'm is. So, there's that. The other thing about Mercury retrograde, there's so many things about Mercury retrograde, but it is a time of reflection and time of truth, and hence the messages. The other thing that happens is many of your electronics and things, they just go bonkers. I am a part of this group in a Patreon, and I can see that this, and I wonder if it's happening, if it's just Patreon overall, or if it's just affecting this particular group on Patreon, which is would be interesting either way, but still is in keeping in line with this Mercury retrograde energy. Also, you could be noticing as well that you are a bit more tired than usual. I want to say that Mercury is in retrograde until, I don't want to give a date because I don't really remember for sure. Anyway, yeah. So a little bit longer. We probably could really just chalk it up to all of the rest of April, because still um, there's post shadow effect as well that is likely to continue for 2 to 3 weeks outside of the actual retrograde. So it happens both before and after. So you start seeing some of those effects just 2 to 3 weeks before and after. Anyways, also, it's called a retrograde, but planets do not move backwards. It just often appears to the naked eye that they are. And sometimes seems like we're going backwards during those times. We're also coming off of a Venus retrograde period as well. Venus is the planet of love. Um, yeah. So that's another reason why I've been getting a whole bunch of messages about love as well. So there's that. Anyways, I've been channeling some messages about a number of things, but the overarching energy of it all is those of you who are. I got some cards for y'all today too. I ain't pulling nothing yet, and I imagine that you can hear me shuffling them in the background. Yeah, that's what that noise is. That's me shuffling these cards. And I don't know about y'all, but Shawty be writing. I be writing. That's some of where, well, this is my journal. I keep a journal, and I encourage people to keep a journal because it is so therapeutic. It is, um, I'm looking for a word, underrated, vastly underrated. I have written all of my life for the most part, on and off, I'll say, but I've been so much more consistent the last 8 years. Um, and it has helped me tremendously. And if you ever need to see how you've grown, you need a bit of encouragement, you can always go back to one of your journals and see how much more wildly you were thinking at previous points in your life, and just how your mind worked at those points. It is a very sobering and very encouraging experience, and thing to behold. If and when you do that, I encourage that at times. But it's such a great thing. You get to pour out everything on paper. You get to refer back to it and see where you've grown, see how some things are still the same. You get to see some things that maybe you've forgotten about. And then too, like, one of my favorite things about it is that growth component, but in the way of spiritual things. You get to see your gifts unfold, because I legit write about everything. If I think it, I write it. And Shawty is a thinker. That is like that's a smaller version of a journal for me. And I ended up getting that as a Christmas gift from one of my coworkers. But my journals generally tend to be kind of thick. I like them a little thicker than a Snicker, because I really do write like that. I write every day. And depending on the day and depending on what's going on, I will write multiple times a day. That's only one of the ones that I keep. That's my everything journal. Then I have a gratitude journal, and I have a kind of catch all notebook, just regular composition or whatever I can find. I'm moving more so into like cuter, more frilly books, because that's what makes me happy. Do what make you happy, okay? So if you want a composition book, get you a composition book, whatever works for you to be able to record most reasonably. But I do want to say, this seems like a whole lot of information about journals. Anyway, but somebody needs to hear it, or somebody has questions apparently. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here to talk about this. I don't customarily write in these because it's not, well, as far as a regular everything journal, I don't write in these because of how it's constructed. I'm writing so much that this is all gonna get worn out. This is gonna come untaped, and it's just gonna be a raggedy mess. And I don't be wanting to look at no raggedy mess, especially since I'm keeping it forever. So yeah, composition doesn't really work for me as an everything journal, but one of these hardbacks absolutely does, because it's a hardback and it's more durable. The thing I will say though, I get this particular one as a catch-all because it has very thick sheets of paper. Also, it doesn't have perforated pages, so you can't easily rip it out, which I like that overall. I really don't like any of my books to have, or any of my journals to have perforated pages, although this one does. Um, my hope is always that none of these pages ever get ripped out, and I don't ever use them for anything in addition to. I'm really just particular in that way. So it just so happens this one was a gift that it has perforated edges. I mean, yeah, perforated edges. So anyway, enough about your journal needs. Oh, speaking of journal, and one more need, another download that I've been getting recently is just because we're all about growth, and there are things that are, we need to talk about everything. A budget. Spirit has been saying that some of you need a budget. You need to budget your life. in a number of ways. You need a financial budget, and you need to budget your time. Time budgeting would also be making yourself a schedule and giving yourself time allotments. Somebody is going to need a block schedule. However, you choose to do that, you need to be able to prioritize things that make the most difference to you to get to the places that you want to go. And that is going to require a budget on your time, and it's going to require a budget on your finances. And I know everybody thinks that they know how much they spend. Trust me. Or as a lot of older people I've been around say, trust you me. It sound good. You don't really know. You ain't, until you have written it down or recorded it on paper and tallied everything up, you don't know. It's a guesstimation, and often that guesstimation be way off. You really need to know where every penny of your money is going, because then and only then are you able to see where you can allocate some more funds. Every single time I've ever helped anybody do a budget, they always had extra money once they figured out where all of their money was going. And you begin to be more strict about the budget, you're able to actually invest more and do some other things that need to be done where you originally thought you weren't. Along with that budget, just tightening up your finances overall. That is like the overall purpose for this budget for you. To save, you're going to have to spend less money or get you another stream of income. That's always the encouragement. Even on a budget, you need other streams of income to be able to do some other things with in order to build wealth. You got to get some establishments in place for that to go the way it should and faster for you. It sucks at first, but it's a lot of stuff that ain't gonna be in your budget, and you're gonna find yourself saying a whole lot of times that ain't in the budget to yourself and to other people. It's necessary. So, yeah, do that for yourself. Whoever you are that needs to hear that, who's been, trying to figure out their finances, trying to figure out how they can get more money. You can get more money, Spirit says, by starting to budget and cutting out unnecessary expenses. If you are not where you want to be in life, subscriptions ain't the move, especially if they are not helping you to get to where you want to be. Dirties. So that's that. That got me off a little bit. Yeah, bear with me while I tap in further to see what more we have in the way of messages. Because this is for the collective. This is for everybody who who's here, whose source has a message for. And we're all asking for more collectively, but because we're not the same, everybody is asking for something a little bit different. And I guess it's probably pretty reasonable to say that most people are asking for more money, unless you are already balling out of control. And if you are, let me hold a little something. Let me hold $5. But yeah, that first part is gonna get you to that. But like, somebody has been inquiring about not knowing their purpose in life and not knowing what they're supposed to be doing, but also feeling these nudges and feeling just drawn to different things, even things like this. You're drawn to things like this because there is a part of this that lies within you. There is a spiritual component to all of us. So we are naturally drawn to more spirited things, even to the degree. Spirit showed me this some time back, and I always find it like it blows my mind every time it comes back to mind. But there is this a certain point in life. There are certain points. There are multiple points in life where every single person turns to spirit. Many people do that by religion. Many people go inward to try to seek out the answers that they are requiring because they feel that tug. Like, all I've met very few older people who are not religious or spiritually inclined. There's a reason for that. I always tell you that the largest component of you is spirit, and it is true. The spirit realm is such a deep place. So, what ends up happening is deep calls unto deep. You are calling, your spirit is calling from inside of you for you to answer. At some point, you always answer, and it manifests in a number of different ways. And that's not saying that one way is right over another. The right part is that you answer and you begin to follow that inclination. A lot of times, we avoid things that we are unfamiliar with. People don't know and are afraid even of some of the more spirited things, which is why a lot of people consider channeling messages and psychic abilities and just all these other methods and modes of even like divination, they think it's witchcraft because A, they don't understand it, and B, they have been taught that. Many, I can't say many because I don't have experience with many. The one religion that I know of teaches you that this kind of thing is witchcraft, but also there are prophets. A prophet is still very much just a vessel used by spirit. You can call it whatever you like. You can call it a channel. You can call it a prophet. You can call it a psychic. It comes from the same God, the same spirit. Accept it or not, that's just what it is. And there is no right way or wrong way to be spirit. Until it gets to the point of leading people away from the thing that is supposed to lead them more toward. Another story for another day, another topic for another day. Yeah. But on this topic, you experience some things that you cannot quite understand and you cannot quite explain to anybody. There are things that you have experienced that are 100% spirit, but you don't have anybody to talk to about it. Or you have very few people to talk to about it. And then when you start talking about it, you sound to yourself and to them like you have lost your fucking mind. A little cuckoo. But it ain't always that. You have not, in fact, lost your mind. You are not, in fact, cuckoo. You have a gift. You have ability that you have to learn to tune to and to allow yourself the ability to accept and move forward from that space. The beautiful part is that you don't have to control it. You couldn't if you tried. That's why it's there and you know about it and nobody else does. You know, it's just there. Whether it be seeing stuff that nobody else sees, whether it be, going into meditative spaces and it being like a trance and you're experiencing things that you feel great about in the moment, even though you don't quite understand it. And some of you, some of it probably has freaked you out a time or two, but also that's okay. The encouragement in this message is that it is okay to be different. It is okay to tap in and align with spirit to be able to use these gifts in a more aware state, in a more aware state. There's spirit, give me another way, with more awareness and more consciousness, and it become more articulable. Some of you are super intuitive, like in ways that you can't even hardly fathom. You know stuff that you don't know how you know it. You just have an intuitive knowing. You be knowing stuff. Everybody around you knows that you be knowing stuff. Listen, I don't know you. I never been around you. I don't think. Have I? At least not in the physical realm where I can consciously know of it and am aware of it at this point. But maybe astral. Maybe I've been there in the astral world. Maybe we've met. Maybe in another timeline. But that's why I'm here, to let you know that it is okay to express those gifts, that they are there for a reason. They are not harmful to you or to anyone else. You will find that once you begin to give it more attention and intention, it's actually just for the greater good of the whole collective. You begin to be able to wield and use your power in more constructive ways for your good and for the good of others. So don't be afraid of it. It's it's all good. It's all good. You're not weird. You're not strange. But shit, if they call you that, then I guess that makes me a little weird, or a lot of weird, and a lot of strange. And that's okay. Spirit says that you are a wellspring, that you have been given the gifts, that you have been given on purpose. Also, I didn't think I was going to go here. Anyway, so Spirit, let me get this other part out first before I forget. Oh no, actually it's out. So that's why I'm being pushed to move on anyway. From your most divine state, you were at the forefront of existence with God as spirit only. You made a conscious decision knowing the life that you would live while you were here to come here and live this life anyway. To be spirit in a body is what you've chose. It seems like a crazy decision, doesn't it? Especially considering the things that you've been through, and you've been through some shit. But that's a part of the beauty of it. You knew from the start. You knew the end from the beginning, because you are God. But you chose to take on this challenge anyway, to come and be here anyway. Because you are courageous, you are brave, you are strong, and you knew yourself. You like, bet, got it. You think I'm a not jump at a challenge and an opportunity to excel and achieve? Will. And so you came here. The only thing is, once you got here, and you were introduced at conception, you were no longer allowed to remember your true self as spirit. So you spend your time on this journey. You know how they say it's everything that's between the dash that counts from your birth date to your death date or your transition date. Legit. You spend all of the time in the gap, in that dash, make discovering how to make a return to yourself as spirit. That's why everybody returns. And they start making that journey more so toward along the way at all these different intervals. And all of these different things in life you have exposure to as a map on your journey, as navigation tools, astrology, numerology, different religions, all of these things, the giftings, the awareness and consciousness that is within your internal navigation system, your feelings, your emotions, all of those things, animals, plants, every single thing is here to guide you back to you as spirit and in spirit, spirit says. So, yeah, that is another reason why the call doesn't stop calling, because that is you, boo boo. That is all of who you are. And that expression has need to come out. Much of that expression helps other people to be okay with the journey to return to themselves. That is why I am here. That is the only reason I am here. It is for me to share in the delight of this discovery with you. That is why you have been introduced to me. I only am encountered in this physical realm whenever it is time to change and whenever people need to see themselves. I am the mirror for you. Um, and at this point, I feel honored and I feel extremely proud and low key just a little bit emotional about it. Because it's not it's not always easy. Just because you know this does not make it easier. Sometimes it makes it much more difficult for you because you engage in these entanglements within yourself and with others, because when you're different, people have shit to say, but all of us are different, so that means people always got shit to say. And we don't really care what they say. The more important part is that you are doing the thing that is going to bring you the most fulfillment, and that is getting to know yourself on this level and producing all that comes from it. So all of those desires are very much connected to that thing that's in there. Anyway, you do hear that stuff. Like, you do hear what you think you're hearing. You do often feel that knowing that you can't quite explain. Some of you have begun to actually tap into this and you feel pretty good about it until it's time for you to talk about it. That's when things start kind of go a little sideways for you, because you begin to feel discouraged when you're describing it because it's different. But listen, you just need to find your soul tribe. There are other people out here that are light workers and star seeds and all of these spirited beings that exist to let you know that we really tap into this. We really use it for good. We really, really only do this so that you know your power. You are the magician in your life. And that is by design. On that note, I am going to pull some cards to get some more on this message. Get some more on the spirited message. So that way it can be confirmed by the cards. We got one falling out. We got a 7 of cups. Oh, that might have been too fast. 7 of cups. 7-11. Sometimes them hood antics be coming out. Anyway, so 7 of cups is representative of options. It's another more card. Also to be noted in this particular card, and I've never paid a whole lot of attention to this. Spirit is just now alerting me to this, but on this card, you see how all of the cups are in the sky. It's up there with the clouds in the air. They're all filled with different things, but Spirit is saying that this is an example of gifts. And you see, this guy has got on a cloak, or this person has on a cloak. And it is the more spirited, more mature, major arcana, major spirited archetypes in the tarot that wear cloaks. It's the symbol of mastery and power. But this is representative of you and all of the many gifts, all of the many spirited gifts. Not that there are only 7, but this is just a pictorial representation of the message. And this person has their hands spread out like they're beholding all of the gifts. I also think that it's super dope. Man, I have not even looked at majority of this stuff. You see this little thing, these little rays coming out from behind the clouds. Just another indication that it's from Spirit. It's from God. Then I got a Knight of Swords for you. Some fast moving energy. Somebody is getting these downloads. They're accustomed to getting these downloads and they want to move fast. Can't wait to tell everybody. Can't wait to tell people all the newness that they've learned, only to feel a little bit of awkward sometimes when telling people, because you might be telling I don't even want to say you're telling the wrong people. You're just telling people who don't quite understand because they haven't quite tapped into that spirit realm for themselves. And that's okay. Every time you're pushed to speak to somebody about it, you should. Now, don't force your way of thinking on anybody. But yeah, anytime you're pressed to. So we got 2 more fallen. Oh man, this is so good. Perfect, perfect. So it felt like this. We got the 2 of Cups. It speaks of union. 2 hearts coming together. And in this message, this is not. So this is 2 things. This is relationship with other like-minded people, soul tribe people that understand where you're coming from. They understand spirited things. They don't think you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Then behind it is the Hermit. The Hermit is a major arcana. It's a symbolism of inner wisdom, going inside for all of the answers, because all of the answers that you need are inside of you. That's tapping into spirit. So This is a, not that I thought it wouldn't, but it goes right along with the overall message. And just so y'all can know that this is real between spirit and I really do this. Um, Listen, yeah, I'm gonna read what each of those says from the book for more clarity for you. I think I want one more. Spirit, give me one more card for the collective. What else? What else do we need to know about this internal energy? Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is independence. She's grown quite the harvest in her independence and she's taken stock. Maybe that'll focus, hopefully. And she's appreciative of all that she's been able to accomplish. And if you see, she has a bird there. A bird there is birds are representative, many of them as messengers. So she's got a messenger along with her. She's grown all sorts of things. And she's got a castle in the back. It's an abundant card. So it's going to take for you to recognize that aloneness on this journey is going to be, it's okay. Like sometimes it gets lonely when you're figuring it out. And until your soul tribe comes along anyway, it'll seem like you are by yourself. But it is in that space that spirit is leading you and guiding you along the way, getting you right to the place that you need to be. You come out more abundant on this side, more stable, more structured. Many of you are seeking out stability overall, and Pentacles are stability cards. The Pentacles represent home life, finances. That kind of stability comes from even this. All roads lead back to you on this journey, but along the way, provision is there. Every single thing you need is going to be provided for you always. You never have to worry about. That don't mean you won't worry about it. It means you don't have to worry about it. That human part of you gonna be trying to be worried about stuff. But that spirit, as long as you tap in, you can begin to tune your mind away from all the worrying, and certainly not in the ways that you have in the past. So anyway, I'm gonna pull the book. So we got the Seven of Cups first. And sometimes what spirit is giving me isn't expressed in the same way as the book does exactly, because so in general the book gives you a general preface without the guidance of spirit real time. So without the guidance of spirit real time and in the moment, some of those things change up. It's just a basic meaning for a card. But when spirit steps in and we're talking about a subject that doesn't quite match what the book representation is, it's on purpose and in purpose that the reading is the way that it is in association with these cards. And spirit reminded me of that because I got to thinking about what the Seven of Cups customarily represents. But when I started, I told you I hadn't seen the card in this way, and the spirit was just showing it to me in this way. Either way, the Seven of Cups card represents dreams, fantasies, and choices. The card may be filled with creativity and excitement about potential new projects or opportunities, which may lead to indecision. The Seven of Cups card is a reminder to carefully review all options. You got options, as they may not be as promising as they seem. Once the querent feels confident about one path, this card indicates a need to take grounded action to bring their visions to reality. So, yeah, You taking grounded actions to choose this path that is the most beneficial for you, that is going to lead you and guide you in all the places that you have desire to go. These are options. These are, like I said before, um, Spirit was speaking first on these being gifts. But the second component of it is it produces for you more options overall in the way of abundance. Anything else, Spirit, on this Seven of Cups? As an added measure, and what the book reads, that connection, because it seems your question is, how do I tap into this? How do I get to this place to be able to be more familiar with the gifts that I have? Grounding is going to be one of those, in meditation, because in meditation it causes you just to be really to be still within yourself and to turn off your mind. Now it takes some practice. Oh, and even in my meditation, Spirit was saying, I had forgotten about this. Was saying that when I encourage you to make this connection in the way of meditation, that I need to remind you that you're not going to spend an hour in meditation just right off the rip. First, an hour is not even really truly necessary. But it's the consistency that gets you to a more consistently aware and more finely tuned space with Spirit. So, grounding connects you to the earth. Everything is connected, everything is one. And so, that centers you. So, you're going to want to be centered more often than not. So, yeah, center yourself, ground yourself, which also, I don't know where I was going with that. Spirit, what was that about? I don't know, but being still and being quiet opens up your ears. I don't know if many of you are aware of this, but whenever one of your senses is not working, the other senses kick up. You have the other senses are heightened. And that's the same concept here, where you're still, often you have your eyes closed and you're being quiet, and you can hear and you can feel a whole lot more because those other senses are shut down, making you more pliable and more receptive of the messages that are coming through. It's not that that is the only way, and it's not like messages don't come through outside of that. They do. Often you move on some of those messages without even really knowing. That whole something said, something told me, following my gut, follow my intuition, all of that. Sometimes you just go with it, but the endeavor is to make that more consistent. And so the Knight of Swords, we're gonna read on. Anything else about that one, Spirit? Seven Cups. Okay, I'm not picking up anything else for the Seven of Cups. So the Knight of Swords represents energy, speed, and determination. The asker is highly ambitious and motivated to manifest their ideas. This card is a reminder to slow down and enjoy the journey. This card also signifies that the asker's goals are within reach. They are ready to bring their plans into reality with focus, strength, and courage. So spirit has been pushing somebody to use their abilities to create something. All gifts are spiritual gifts. I want to say that. Sometimes you don't count it as such, but spirit has given you the inclination to do all of those things for a reason, to expand. And so this is about making sure that you are taking the steps to do those things that spirit is pushing you to do. Your desired things, the goals, the dreams, the hopes, all of those things. But you got to slow down. Tapping into this space. In another reading, I talked about how tapping in and slowing, like stealing yourself and only taking inspired action over just doing a whole bunch of stuff in the way of productivity to get to a space. Slowing down and taking inspired action gets you there faster than this productivity model that we're so accustomed to. So, Spirit is saying that. So, when you're tapping in and you're tuning in, Spirit lets you know exactly what to do next. Each step begins to unfold, and you get to your desired outcome, but it's going to likely be way better than you think because that's the part for Spirit to do. The Two of Cups. Anything else on this Knight of Swords? So not only are you're acting on your ideas and needing to slow down, you're needing to slow down for efficiency's sake, which is exactly what I just said, but it's just put a different way. I guess maybe somebody else needs to hear it in this way. For you need to slow down for efficiency's sake. Instead of doing a whole bunch of work, productive work, because society tells you that you need to do this and you need to do that. You need 1,000 hours and you need to do this 1,000,001 times and you need to do this 50, 11 times before you get it. That's not how this goes. Even if you put in 50, 11 hours doing a thing, if you are not prepared, you're not getting it. Much of the time, all of that work ultimately sets you up because you're making all of these different adjustments along the way because you're trying to figure it out. And the same is it's the same with the guidance and help from spirit, but it's not a whole lot of figuring to be done. It's the cheat code. Spirit is like, no, don't go over there, go over there. And you're like, what? That don't make no sense. But as long as you do it, you're gonna get there. Don't try to do the thing that's more logical. Logic is gonna get in the way of a spirit answer more often than not. Mm. And for those of you who are heavily scripturally inclined, that's that whole lean not to your own understanding part. But in all your ways, acknowledge spirit. And it'll give you the desires of your heart. How fitting. How fitting. I can't make it up. you know, funny thing is, I really thought that this was I was just adding to the amount of useless information that I had on the other side of being super religious. Um, but no, that was for y'all. that makes me appreciate that space and time so much more. I'm grateful. Um, man, oh man, Two of Cups. Moving right along, shall we? The Two of Cups specifically signifies harmony in relationships and open communication. The symbol of this card is two hearts, indicating that the querent is in a special union that feels fulfilling and mutually beneficial. It really do feel that way. When you locked in and spirit is using you and telling you where to go, I don't even want to call it using you because I guess you can call it that. I don't know. But you just feel on top of the world. You feel like you really got the cheat code. Cause you do. You really, really do. Mm. And it's just making that connection that makes all the difference. You go further and you go further faster. The Two of Cups is a sign to engage in open communication. That communication is that connective piece that we've been talking about. It seems still and it seems quiet. It seems like ain't nothing going on because you being still working against the thing that you've been taught. But you're doing the most in the spirit realm. You're doing the most connecting and you are breaking all the barriers of this fleshly side or human side of things. Anyway, the querent is encouraged to review their current relationships and clear up any miscommunication. This includes taking accountability for what is within their control. So, doubly, it forges communication even in your external relationships. But I'm gonna tell you this: it's there's an order of operation, kind of like I guess a hierarchy, you can say. You begin to align with spirit and communicate and make this connection. Then you begin to communicate with yourself better. Then, when you begin to communicate with yourself better, you begin to communicate with everything and everyone outside of you better. So that's how that goes. So when you fix the relationship that is within, as is above, so below. So when you fix that relationship, I don't even want to say fix it because it ain't nothing wrong with it. You just need to be fine tuned. You need to turn the tuna button. So yeah, when that is all dialed in and you get on the right frequency, is what spirit is saying for ease of understanding. You know how when you listening to the radio, you gotta have it tuned to the right station in order to hear clearly what's going on that station that you're trying to hear. Only when you tune in to the right station and you get on the right frequency are you able to hear what is playing on that frequency. That's what this whole relationship with spirit is. You aligning yourself outside and inside to be able to receive all of these messages, the broadcast that is being broadcasted. Whew, Lord. Okay. What else? What else? What else? The Hermit card. This is long. If you lasted this long, you really rock with me. Or more so, you really rock with the message, and I'm glad for you. And I hope that you get so much more than you came for. And that spirit has given you the answers to your questions. The Hermit This old guy with the lights lighting the path in the darkness. The hermit is a seeker of the knowledge that comes from within, a lonely wanderer on the path of the night. He searches for that which can only be gained with long periods of solitude, the inner voice. You may currently be contemplating the need to be alone. Never be afraid to take this chance to reflect, as it could help you clear your mind of all the clutter that comes with everyday life. Everything is just pointing to going within. All the answers that you have need of are inside, because that's where your spirit guide resides. Ooh, rhyming. But yes, I think that took us quite a way. And I hope that you get this and that you run with it and that you use it to your greatest benefit and change this world, because it is, you got it. You got it. Don't be afraid of these gifts. It ain't nothing to be afraid of. Question it, ask questions, ask spirit questions. It give you, listen, they'll give you all, the universe will give you all the answers that you need. You'll be aligned strategically with everything you possibly could have need of or want, because it ain't even about only needs. You're going to get what you want and what you need. So on we go. The shit. This, what you want and what you need. Come on, source, let's do this. I like it. I didn't know that was where we was going. We was just rapping, and that's how it happened. Nine of Pentacles. And really, the funny thing is that came up, and see, it's a serious thing, but it ain't always in the super serious way. That's why I be on here joking with y'all, because it's serious, but life ain't serious, you know? Spirit be joking, be having fun. It's your personality. And so a lot of times you're going to hear a lot of this stuff in your personality. It's you. All the funny thoughts and shit and all of the laughing and joking you be doing, all of that. It'll show up that way. Watch. Y'all think I'm just a clown, and y'all right. But at the same time, my spirit guides be clowning like I be clowning. That whole got the rapping and just how it happened part, it's a line from a movie. You better know that. But if you don't, it's a line from a movie. The assignment is what line from what movie? I want to know. But that is what Spirit says about this card in the way of fulfillment. You getting the things that you want and the things that you need. The stability of this card and the independence of it. The necessity of independence. I think in that last video, Spirit was talking about independence. This is an independent energy. It has a woman on the card, but this is not gender specific at all. The measure of independence that you get by depending upon source. That is the very important piece of independence. So we all have a call to reserve a great measure of independence. Stability. Anyway, let me read it from the book. The Nine of Pentacles. Y'all better tell me y'all got that. That's how it got the rapping, and that's how it happened, and how that relates to this whole. Y'all better have got it. Anyways, the Nine of Pentacles represents material security, enjoyment, and financial freedom. This card shows up as a reminder for the asker to enjoy the fruits of their labor and savor the finer things in life. This card can also be a positive indication that better times are around the corner if the asker has been in the process of moving or is experiencing troubles at home. There will soon be a shift toward a new beginning. Yeah, that's right. It is a stable card. It is a enjoyment card, telling you to enjoy the finer things in life, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But the number 9 is also a rebirth and an end to a cycle. So from here, you got the 10 of Pentacles. 10 come out the 9. And if this is concluding or ending a cycle, and it's talking about you moving toward new beginnings, you move on to the 10 of Pentacles, which is home life, relationship fulfillment, stability, the ultimate stability in your home life, finances, and all the things. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you got what you needed from it and that you feel more empowered than ever. I am going to leave you now. This thing has gotten super long. I love you, and I hope to see you back here getting more of the love and the light the Spirit has to give and the encouragement. But going to be great. Enjoy yourself. Tap in. Love and light. Until we meet again, or we just keep on keeping